we built an iPad site called Reppin Me, who'sreppin.me. So the idea is we're trying to sort of surface who are your local representatives and who's representing you in your local area. What we're doing is we're pulling your location through the browser in Safari, and then we're asking who your representatives are from the Sunlight Labs API. And then with these representatives, we're asking NPR, what are the latest stories about them? So we want to give you sort of like the snapshot of like what your representatives are up to. And then you also have this nice little opportunity to sort of holler at them and say, hey, this is really awesome what you're doing, or most times maybe sort of say, no, this is actually pretty terrible. And so we have, you want to?
Yeah, so this is linked. I'm not sure where we're pulling this from, but if they have a Twitter handle, your representative, it's connected to this, so you can hit boo and send them a Twitter. You can tweet out to them. Okay, so there's these preloaded little sayings with humorous hashtags and sort of things. Oh, sorry about that. I won't tweet it. I won't tweet it.
We'll definitely tweet that then. Yeah.
So yeah, the idea with that is that I mean, I think if you're speaking a language to people that might not know what congressional district they're in, or who their representatives are, this could be a way to, on the one hand, keep it very local, so that they log in and it automatically tells them. And then if they start seeing their friends or other people tweeting out these things and they think it's funny, they'll start maybe following it. That could have the potential to, I think, make younger people a lot more engaged in following their politicians. The back and forth of Twitter right there makes politicians' reputation that much more. You can communicate with them and let them know that you think they're a douche or whatever it is. And I mean, I don't think that'll make them necessarily behave, but who knows?
And it's also nice just because if you're not maybe super civically oriented and you sort of pull the site up, you sort of just get this quick snapshot wherever you are of who's locally representing you, what they're up to.
And tell them where the articles are sourced from.
Yeah, so we're using, so that, like I said, there's a few links in this chain. So we're using Sunlight Labs. They have this really great Congress API, and you can give them locations, and then they'll actually return all the local representatives, and actually a bunch of metadata about them too. So that's most of the metadata is coming from there. What else? Yeah, NPR. So unfortunately, we couldn't find, the NPR APIs looked really great, but we couldn't find anything about getting any structured data resource for getting stories. So we actually we're doing a bunch of searches and scraping the pages to pull these. So I don't know, NPR developers, I guess that would be my bug ticket request for you guys. But otherwise, yeah, we had a lot of fun, and thanks to like all these services, we were able to get stuff, sort of linked up really quickly.
And the last bit of it is we made a real quick Twitter handle that's who's Reppin Me CA8, which is the 8th congressional district, and we're sort of aggregating or curating whatever, following articles that we're covering elected officials in that area and sending out sort of humorous tweets that linked to articles. And you could imagine that sort of thing if it were to build out and be like Twitter handles that people followed in different cities, almost like a political version of a Twitter Yelp sort of thing.
Thanks.
Cool idea, very simple. I guess I have two questions. One is Twitter the right tool for leveraging opinion with public figures, which I think in some cases it could be, but largely this is, saying yay or boo in this circumstance in Iowa might be sending, just sending a message in a bottle out to sea and letting it sink. My second question would be, and I think the scraping that you're doing here makes this fairly evident. Some of these stories I can kind of guess what's happening, and I know a little bit of the backstory, but I think it definitely needs more information about what you're seeing, and that should be in that first kind of window that you happen upon.
Yeah, I would agree with the second comment there. That would be helpful. But I love this. I think it's a great way to aggregate stories and bring it home to people. and exchange opinions about it. I think even if you took the Twitter layer off of it or substituted something else, it's still a really good idea.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I love the hashtag, my rep is a douche. It's funny.
If you play with it, you might find a few other nuggets.
Okay, yeah, no, that sort of stuff is cool. It grabs people's attention, it gets them, it's like a way to grab people in and then get them talking about more important issues. And so, yeah, I thought it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think it's terrific to be able to connect people to their representatives. I think a lot of times, especially people of my generation, are just not really clued into the political scene. And having a real simple interface that shows you, here are your reps and here's some things that they're doing are great. My brain immediately spins to, well, where could you go with this? And what are the votes that are currently going through, and what do these guys think? And am I cool with that, or am I not cool with that? And letting the reps get that feedback real time from their constituencies before they're taking actions would be superb. But I think that's the next step. I think this is a terrific start. So great work.